everyone? Taking a look at some stacking options for the Saturday slate. You and I were just talking before the show. I mean, a ton of options. We got Coors, a Diamondback stack that we're watching go off now. 11 runs in the bottom of the sixth. Expecting that to kind of go ahead and happen again. A lot going on.
Yeah, top pitcher tomorrow, Chris Tillman. You got plenty of really tune into the stacking pod. There should be plenty of options.
Yeah, we'll jump into here first. Phillies and Nats. Tanner Roark taking on Nick Pivetta. Washington's been red hot offense. Cooled off, I guess, over the last few days, but definitely a good time to jump back on board against Pivetta.
Yeah, you can go many routes here, but I'm probably, you're gonna like your Turner, Harper, Murphy, and probably Zimmerman. The same old usual company there.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely with you. And I think, they're expensive, but a good expensive pivot away from Coors, who I still think people will jump on, even with the two lefties who, at times we've seen them throw actually pretty well.
Right. And, like I said before with Tillman, he on DraftKings at least, he's 9,900. He's the top pitcher. So, you're going to have plenty of salary to be able to get a top stack and just go ahead and fit these mid-tier pitchers.
Yeah, you are. So, looking at Washington, near a 5-run total, definitely going there. Value stack, though, San Diego going up against Dylan Covey. Good numbers here. Will Myers red hot. I definitely don't mind guys like Solarte, Schimpf, Margot leading off. A good value stack.
Yeah, you got Myers 4,500, and then if you want to throw in Solarte at 35 and Renfroe 31, it's like a lot of times I like to throw my catcher in my stack. So Hedges is 3K. Geez, that's crazy. You can fit like a 5-man San Diego, maybe, and get a 3-man Coors or something.
Yeah, that's the thing. They allow you to get those other big bats in. So, against Covey, he's been tagged for 7 home runs already this year. On a 536 WOBA to righties. Hello, Will Myers. I'll lock and load at US Cellular there. So I'm a big fan of the Padres.
Yes, definitely. Will Myers probably out of that whole team is definitely my favorite play tomorrow.
Yep.
Really liking looking at some of these teams here. If you want to talk about another, you said your cheap stack is San Diego, and I agree. I'm kind of sneaky with Detroit.
Yeah, underpriced.
Yeah, we're talking Miggy, JD, Justin Upton, Kinsler. Like we talked about before, the ballpark's always a worry, but that's going to be some low ownership tomorrow.
Yeah, it definitely is. And you look at Alaska, getting hit hard by right-handers, 39% hard contact rate, ground ball rate slow. So, I'm with you. I think the ownership's definitely going to be low on these guys, and it's one that's, we usually see the stack and it's kind of on the expensive side, but not tonight.
No, it works out well. Like you get that stack and you throw maybe some Coors bats or Washington bats, and the pitching's all over the place tomorrow. You can just kind of just throw a dart and figure out who you're going to pitch.
Yeah, that's the thing. And you look like everyone's going to be pretty much in the same boat with pitching. Like, there's no real cheap guys to pay down. I think everyone's just going to go with that top tier options just because I don't want to take on shots on like Edison Volquez or guys like that.
No, neither do I. So, but in tournaments, take the Cahill or Tehran or something, and then maybe you could take a shot on, I wouldn't say Volquez, but maybe somebody like, I don't know, Nate Carnes or something with some strikeout potential, and then you can fit your bats in there. Just a tournament strategy to get you ahead of the pack.
Yeah, you're going to definitely need to be different. I think on the hill is probably a good place to do it. What are your thoughts on this Milwaukee Mets game? Selman, Zach Davies, two struggling right-handers in a good ballpark. Are you stacking there, or are you like more one-offs, two-offs?
As much as I want to do the one-offs, I could just, being in Miller Park here, I can just see in this game being like 6-5 in the fifth and be like, I should just totally – I feel like I'm more willing to stack this as a whole game than I am to take just one team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely think so too. Because I like Jay Bruce and Conforto, and then I don't mind the right-handers because Selman's been hit hard by righties. So Hernan Perez, Domingo Santana, Jet Bandy again, those guys. It's a good game stack.
Yeah, and then you throw in. If you're going to leave a first baseman, obviously you'll put Thames in there, and then you have VR, and you look at it, you're going to have a 4-4 or 5-3, and you pick your pitchers. Game ends up being 8-7. Your pitchers do well. You're going to be looking real good in tournaments.
Yeah, we're looking at like a 9.5 run total in that one. And as we said, Miller Park friendly for power.
Right, and it's and I could also see it being like a 7-2 game. So I feel like I don't want to pick the team with the 2. I'd rather just have the game and just root for a whole bunch of runs.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely with you. This next game here, I mean, Oakland and Texas, I mean, both teams over 5 for run total. First 2 games, I've been burned. I mean, my A's and Rangers lineups have been absolutely burned by this one, but I feel like this is a good one to go back to the well because, I mean, Sonny Gray, not quite right. Nick Martinez, I mean, still in that ballpark. We're bound for an explosion at some point.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Martinez frustrates me every time I stack against this guy. My team only gets like 2 runs, and it's just like it's so frustrating because he's not a good pitcher. But I mean, if I feel like I'm gonna go on this side, I'm probably gonna go Texas. I'm not. I'm kind of just done messing with Nick Martinez. But Sonny Gray's due for a blow up spot, and Texas is due for they've won the last 2 games here with walk offs, but they're not scoring that much. They're really due for that explosion to start the game off. Maybe put up a 10 spot.
And I think people are kind of like done with them. You know what I mean? Like they're like, I'm sick of playing Odor. I'm sick of playing like Napoli and Lucroy. Like it's a good time to like get on board because eventually things are going to heat up, and especially in that ballpark where they've always done better.
Yeah, it seems like people have been doing that with Houston too, and I'm just going to keep stacking those teams because they're eventually going to go off.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be ahead of the curve rather than be behind it.
Right, exactly.
So, Diamondbacks going up against Trevor Williams. I mean, one of the highest totals. I mean, essentially, if there's a team that could match Coors or even outscore Coors, it's definitely Arizona.
Dude, you and I both know this is my team this year, man. I've been stacking them all the time. I stacked them again tonight. They're going off, and I'll probably stack them again tomorrow. I mean, that top 4 is killer when Peralta's batting in the 2-hole, and then you can. I mean, whoever you want for your 5th guy on DraftKings. I mean, Tomas hits. Drury's having a great night tonight. Owings has the stolen base and power upside. I mean, I've thrown Herman in there. This lineup's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm with you. I think for the most part, like you just keep firing away with this team. It's just going to keep getting you money. I mean, really, whenever they're at home, get Diamondback stacks in.
That's what I'm saying. So, but I mean, if you're really looking to just do a 3 or 4, then I mean, if Peralta's batting 2, I want that Pollock, Peralta, Goldie, and Lamb, just those top 4, and get as most of the bats as possible. It's not going to be cheap, but they're scoring runs, so who cares?
Yeah, and with the pitching, as we said earlier, I mean, you can get these guys in.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll talk about Coors. I mean, Alex Wood, Tyler Anderson. I just have a weird feeling with this one. I mean, Dodgers against lefties still haven't been particularly great. Even the Rockies against lefties, they still have that huge strikeout rate. I mean, I don't know. I could definitely see this being maybe just a 1-off, 2-off type game.
Yeah, this just seems like that 3-2 or 2-1 game where Scott Van Slyke goes yard, and you're just like, well, I'm happy I didn't stack it, Like
that's the thing, man. I'm like, dude, I kind of got that feeling it's gonna happen. I mean, like a Chris Taylor homer or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I could if I have some room for some one-offs here and there, I'll probably play a Coors guy if the salary works. But I mean, usually I'm trying to get all over Coors, but I'm just not really intrigued with tomorrow. There's so many other offenses.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we've named a lot of other offenses that are much better priced. I'll probably go that direction for the most part. I mean, maybe toss in some of those cheap platoon guys, if anything, from the Dodgers side, if like Gutierrez is back in lineup or something like that, or Kike Hernandez. I mean, that's about it, though.
Yeah, that's it for me, too. I mean, I'm kind of off Coors tomorrow.
Yeah, I am as well. So let's wrap things up here with us. You can head over to DaveFantasyCafe.com for all our great tools and content.